So in the last video we talked about our first principle of good experimental design, which was control. And in this video we're going to talk about the second and third principles, and those are replication and randomization. Replication simply just means that we're going to use enough subjects to reduce any chance variation in our results. So replication, of course, is also the same thing as replicating. So we're just replicating our experiment many, many times, having many, many experimental units or subjects, again, to make sure that our data set is large enough that any chance variation is limited, or the impact of any chance variation is limited. The basic idea is that if there is some sort of strange chance variation, in other words, we have some outliers, if our sample size is large enough, we have enough experimental units in our experiment, then even if we do have those outliers, they're not going to have a very large impact on the overall results of our experiment. So again, basic principle number 2 is replication. Get enough subjects in your experiment. Principle number 3 is randomization, which probably isn't any surprise since we've talked quite a bit about the importance of randomization already. And in this case, randomization simply means that you're going to randomly assign your experimental units to the various treatments. So going back to our little seedling example, maybe you have a pack of 20 seeds, and you're going to randomly assign them, those 20 seeds, to the 3 experimental units. Of course, if there are 3 experimental units and 20 seeds, that wouldn't work out so well. Let's say there's 21 seeds. That'll work better. And again, we just want to randomly assign them using whatever random number assignment technique that we want to use. So again, just to review, there are 3 important principles of experimental design. All 3 must be in place if you want to actually conduct an experiment whose results are reliable. First is control, which just means that you're only allowing the variables to vary that you want to. Second is replication, which means that you are repeating the experiment. You have enough subjects in your experiment that it can minimize any chance variation. And then third principle is randomization, meaning that your experimental units are going to be randomly assigned to the various treatments. Now let's say you do adhere to these 3 guidelines. You conduct a well set up experiment, and you get your results. At that point, you take a look at your results and you want to determine whether or not they are statistically significant. And that's what we're going to be doing in later chapters in this course. We're going to be determining whether or not the results of an experiment are significant, meaning that that variable that we changed really did have a cause and effect impact, or if perhaps the results that we are seeing were just caused by chance and aren't actually a cause and effect sort of situation. So again, that's something for you all to look forward to in subsequent chapters.